Hi, it's Chris here, and in this video we're going through the best boot dryers out there. I've narrowed this list down to my absolute favorite 5, so no matter what you're looking for, there'll definitely be something on this list for you. So before we jump in, drop a like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be updated with new videos. Alright, as usual, I'm going to skip the fluff and just jump right in. If you want to confirm my recommendations, go in the description and check out that list to ensure you get the best price. Alright, so the first one on the list is going to go to my recommendation for the best for people who think silence, like revenge, is best served warm through your boots. This is my personal favorite, Pete, the original electric shoe and boot dryer. Alright, let's start with something that sounds like it was invented by a bloke who got tired of putting his boots on the radiator and setting off the fire alarm. Now, it may not shoot lasers or make your tea, but this unassuming little device is a wizard when it comes to drying your soggy clodhoppers. It's quiet, eerily quiet actually, like did it die quiet. But don't let the silence fool you, this thing is gently blasting warm air up your boots like a ghost with a foot fetish. Key features: universal compatibility, works with pretty much every shoe material except for, I don't know, live ferrets. Leather, rubber, vinyl, neoprene, canvas, fleece, felt, microfiber, you name it, it dries it. Tall boot friendly, comes with dual extension tubes so it'll handle your knee highs, wellies, or whatever else you wear when you're pretending you're in pinky blinders. And convection style drying, no fancy fans or blowers, just warm air rising naturally like your nan's apple pie steam, but significantly less edible. 24/7 safe operation as well. It can stay plugged in all the time without turning your hallway into a toasted shoe bonfire. And silent running, of course. It's really quieter than a ninja in socks. You'll really forget it's on. Overnight dry time, not the fastest on the block, but it gets the job done while you sleep, like a loyal cobbler with insomnia. So who's it for? Well, ideal for anyone whose shoes have ever squelched after walking the dog, survived a music festival, or simply exist in a damp climate where your socks stay wetter than your dating life. It's for those who want reliability over speed and don't mind a dry that works as slowly and silently as a Victorian butler. The next one is my recommendation for the best for broke blokes with wet socks and mild emotional damage. It's the Jobsite boot dryer. So the blue collar lunch pail version of shoe drying tech. If the Pete dryer is the gentleman's valet, this one is your mate Dave from the warehouse who gets the job done with no chat and a faint smell of petrol. It may not be flashy and it sure as hell doesn't rush, but it's dependable, versatile, and somehow manages to dry everything short of your emotional baggage. Key features: multi-purpose drying, not just for boots. This thing will dry gloves, hats, cleats, ice skates, boxing gloves, even your dignity after a bad Tinder date maybe. Silent operation, no fans, no hums, just silence. Brooding heat like a toaster with commitment issues. Perfect for use indoors without sounding like you've brought home a jet engine. Convection heat system as well. Warm air rises through the unit gently like a passive-aggressive sigh from your nan when you forgot her birthday. And kills moisture and funk. Helps prevent mold, bacteria, and that cursed smell that makes your hallway feel like a locker room had a meltdown. And 1 pair capacity though, handles 1 pair of boots or 2 gloves unless you're a mutant with 6 hands. LED power indicator lets you know if it's on, which is handy because it takes 15 to 30 minutes to start warming up. It's like dating someone who's emotionally unavailable. Looks like nothing's happening, but eventually it all kicks in. Drying time about 8 hours for damp shoes and 12 plus for the ones you wore while wading through the River Thames. So who's it for? Well, perfect for budget conscious folks who want a simple silent dryer that won't let them down, even if it takes longer to get going than your Uncle Steve after 3 lagers. Great for people with lots of gear and a little patience, or those trying to dry their entire winter wardrobe without waking up the cat. The next one is my recommendation for the best for gearheads who want their shoes dry in less time than it takes to make a cup of tea, but twice as loud. It's the Hedgehog Dryer Buddy Ionic i3 boot dryer. So let's enter the big leagues, why don't we? This one's not just drying your boots, it's trying to intimidate your tumble dryer and shag your kettle. This one sounds like a piece of military hardware, but it's actually an absolute beast at boot drying. We're talking ceramic heat, ion tech, and something called tornado mode, which sounds like the setting you'd use to maybe punish your enemy's socks. This isn't just a dryer, it is really a statement. Key features: turbo drying power. Dries up to 5 times faster than slower, more contemplative boot dryers. 10 to 30 minutes and your soggy gear's bone dry unless you're trying to dry a small swamp. Ionic odor elimination uses ionic technology to neutralize smells like a digital exorcism for your gym shoes. And multi-gear capability dries up to 3 pairs of shoes at once, so now you and 2 of your equally moist friends can all live fungus-free. Adjustable heat and timer as well. Features 5 heat settings and a timer so you don't cook your leather boots into jerky. And gloves and hats too. Works on gloves, hats, and possibly your will to live after a British winter. And wall mount design works best when screwed into the wall like a Victorian schoolboy. Freestanding use is fine, but mounting gives better airflow. And tornado mode, of course. It's loud. Not pub fight loud, but is that a Dyson mating with a hairdryer loud? Best used in a garage, shed, or maybe an abandoned warehouse. So who's it for? Well, this one's for the hardcore, hunters, skiers, dads with gear hoarding tendencies. If you've got a garage and a healthy disregard for subtlety, this is your dryer. It's also ideal if you hate waiting and like your tech aggressive enough to startle your neighbors. Just don't run tornado mode in a nursery unless you want the baby to grow up afraid of wind. The next one is my recommendation for the best for off-grid families, eco-warriors, and people who treat their central heating like a lifestyle. It's the Green Glove Dryer. So this one's for the off-grid purists perhaps, and the eco-warriors, and the kind of people who get genuinely excited about compost. Also known as the Eco Dryer, it's what happens when someone says, what if we could dry 6 garments using nothing but air and a prayer? No electricity, no noise, no carbon footprint, just your home's heating vent doing all the heavy lifting while this clever plastic contraption sits there like a silent passive-aggressive overachiever. Key features: holds 6 garments at once, boots, gloves, socks, hats, basically anything that's soggy and doesn't scream when heated. 360-degree airflow, which maximizes drying efficiency without needing to plug it in or sacrifice a goat to the appliance gods. And no electricity, of course, runs entirely on the heat from your home's vents, like some kind of bourgeois windmill. And twist-lock design assembles easily and stays stable even when fully loaded like a coat rack at a children's birthday party. And travel-friendly, lightweight and compact enough to throw in a bag for ski trips, sports tournaments, or your annual pilgrimage to the land of lost mittens. Odor control as well. Comes with something called Sanafor, which sounds like an ancient spell, but it's actually a legit antibacterial additive that kills 99% of that nasty stuff that causes mold and smell. So who's it for though? Well, this one's ideal for families, nature lovers, or anyone with a furnace and trust issues about electricity. It's great if you want to dry a bunch of stuff without your energy bill having a mental breakdown. Just remember, no vent, no dry. So maybe don't pack it for your camping trip unless you plan on laying it over a bear's nostrils. The next one is my recommendation for the best for couples, roommates, or one very moist overachiever with a boot addiction. It's the Pete Advantage Plus heated shoe and boot dryer. So this one looks like it belongs in a Bond villain's mudroom. It's got the power of a heat blasting fan, the strength to hold up your heaviest gear, and the deodorizing prowess of a nun with a spray bottle. This thing doesn't just dry your boots, it intimidates the damp out of them. If you're tired of that marshland feeling in your footwear, this one's your knight in slightly warm convection heated armor. Key features: dual drying power, choose between heated or non-heated settings depending on whether you want your boots dry or toasty dry. Fast drying time as well, gets most gear bone dry in 1 to 4 hours, so faster than most apologies from your ex. Built-in fan system, the center-mounted fan draws air, heats it, and blasts it up your boot's backside like a hot yoga class for footwear. And it's sturdy as hell. The strong base can hold heavy boots without toppling over like a drunk flamingo. And tall boot friendly, comes with long tubes for knee highs, ski boots, or whatever else you use to cosplay as a stormtrooper. Deodorizes while drying as well, so your hallway stops smelling like a rugby locker room during monsoon season. And works on all the usual suspects: leather, rubber, vinyl, canvas, neoprene, synthetics, basically everything short of chainmail. So who's it for? Well, perfect for couples, roommates, or one person with serious commitment issues and maybe too many shoes. It's ideal for folks who want fast, flexible drying and a bit of deodorizing magic without sacrificing floor space to a clunky monstrosity. Just plug it in, load it up, and watch your damp gear cry for mercy. Alright, so those are my recommendations. Hopefully there's something on that list for you, but if you have any questions, drop them down below. And if you found value in this video, drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.